argentum, silver, as noble as lambent moonshine. In the poetry of classical antiquity, it was associated with Diana, the virgin moon goddess. In August 1520, Albrecht Dürer saw a very silvery moon
among the gifts the Aztec Emperor Montezuma gave to the Spanish conquistador Cortés.
The crescent moon is still the symbol for silver.
For a metal whose beauty has fascinated mankind down the ages.
4,000 years ago, in ancient Egypt, silver was at times considered even more valuable than gold. The bones of the gods, it said, were made of silver.
Homer extolled the silver of the ancient Greeks.
Tacitus discovered it among the Teutons.
Beneath the volcanic ash of Pompeii, archaeologists found a 118-piece silver service.
In every civilization, this shining metal has inspired craftsmen to create timeless works of art. Silver, especially table silver, allows us to date the epochs of cultural history.
The voluptuousness of the Baroque era is reflected in silver tableware,
as is the flamboyancy of the Rococo.
Flatware of classic beauty reveals the spirit of its age.
The contrast between Art Nouveau and Bauhaus created appreciable contrasts in early 20th century tableware designs. Even the 1950s made their contribution to the art of decorating a table.
With such famous Robbe and Berking designs as Royal and City, patterns which have often been copied and today are themselves almost classics.
And our present age? Modern architecture and modern interior decoration have developed their own contemporary forms of expression.
The Alta program of silver tableware, introduced by Robbe and Berking, harmonizes with the very best that modern architecture and interior decoration have produced. In its simple but fascinating beauty, Alta epitomizes the fundamental prototype of contemporary tableware.
A number of major museums have acquired Alta tableware for their collections as an outstanding example of the craft of the modern silversmith. But it wasn't only the design that earned it this distinction. The high standard of Robbe and Berking handcrafting also made a decisive contribution. One of the museums testified that when you hold the pieces in your hand, you really have the impression that they're hand-forged.
Manufactum, made by hand. The quality of handcrafted silversmith's work is the yardstick of every design in the Robbe and Berking collection.
Handcrafting, also in tool making. Handcrafting in finishing the edges of the stem with the polishing wheel.
Handcrafting in grinding the handles and surfaces. Handcrafting in lapping. Not even the most sophisticated lapping and polishing line can rival the sensitivity of the human touch.
And once again, the human touch, the artist's hand. It alone determines the design, the style, and not the limited possibilities offered by series production methods. And that, of course, applies to all flatware produced in the Flensburg manufactory. For example, the well-known Altspaten pattern, with its highly expressive ears
and almost horizontal shoulders.
characteristic of the original design from around 1750.
Whereas for other manufacturers, only one polishing pass is sufficient for the machinable Spaten pattern, Robbe and Berking use a whole range of individual grinding and polishing steps for the stem, the ears and the shoulders. The process for the Französisch Perle ornamentation is similar. The high relief beads not only require far more sophisticated tooling, but also greater care in grinding and polishing.
Only if they're carefully hand ground and just as lovingly hand polished do the beads remain bold and rounded.
Automatic polishing lines, on the other hand, all too often produce work like this.
Attention to detail is the hallmark of every piece of cutlery produced by the Flensburg manufactory.
It applies to Altfaden, a classic flatware design, as well as to Alt Chippendale, whose characteristic thread adorns the front and back of every handle.
Art Deco, cutlery with a classic elegance based on a Robbe and Berking design from the year 1929.
Navette, the flowing lily-like end of the stem betrays the Art Nouveau influence. The details are lovingly executed, the finely delineated double thread pattern, and the raised decoration on the elegant ferrule of the table knife.
With Geo, Robbe and Berking has perfectly captured the aesthetic sensitivity of the age, slim and rounded, a pleasure for both eye and hand. A classic in its own time, Dante. A clear, distinct shape, harmonious proportions, and smooth flowing lines make Dante more modern than all the short-lived post-modern designs. For 125 years, Robbe and Berking have brought perfection in function and form to table decoration.
An outstanding example is the anniversary flatware Martelet. Its hammered finish is a visible sign of traditional craftsmanship. The surface of Martelet shimmers like moonlight glinting on the rippled surface of water.
The manufactory underlines the special position of its collection with its product availability guarantee. Anyone purchasing Robbe and Berking silver or silver-plated cutlery has the reassurance they will always be able to replace the pieces at any time. As table manners became more cultivated over the course of the years, more and more individual pieces of cutlery were required for the dining table. In Martin Luther's day, a knife and spoon were all that was needed. The reformer himself regarded the fork as an offence against public morals. Right up until the 18th century, travellers who dined with a fork were ridiculed as forcifer, a term applied to both fork users and criminals bearing a yoke.
Nowadays, a tasteful table layout should include
fish and dessert knives and forks,
asparagus tongs, as well as cheese knives,
salad servers, and carving sets, to mention just a few.
Robbe and Berking supply over 50 different items of table silver in every design.
That again is a speciality.
Every single piece has been meticulously designed in keeping with its purpose and matching the service it belongs to.
Obviously, tableware that has been so fastidiously manufactured is sold predominantly in sterling silver. No other grade of silver enjoys such high international esteem. The lower grade 800 alloy, still occasionally seen nowadays, is not used on principle in Robbe Berking workshops.
Today, the Robbe Berking silver manufactory ranks among the world's leading suppliers of solid silver flatware. Of course, Robbe Berking also manufacture silver-plated cutlery, distinguished by its workmanship and the excellent quality of the materials used. For instance, the 150-gram massive silver plating, easily recognizable by the special hallmark on the reverse side, a mammoth.
The process used was specially developed in the Robbe Berking laboratories.
Compared with the conventional 90-gram silver plating, the massive silver coating is not only 2/3 thicker, its surface hardness is considerably greater.
In other words, it's extremely durable and, of course, machine washable.
State-of-the-art electronic processes are used to obtain immaculate silver plating. Computer-controlled galvanizing and automated charging ensure unsurpassed silver plating quality. Manual work is again applied when the cutlery reaches the finishing stage. Every piece is carefully hand-polished and then cleaned automatically. This hand-polishing is one of the company's specialities. It lends Robbe Berking silver the deep and long-lasting lustre so coveted by connoisseurs.
Of course, the stringent quality standards don't only apply to flatware, but to all products in the Robbe Berking program. To Christmas decorations, as well as to silver gift articles, and of course to the extensive range of other tableware. Every item is individually manufactured with the utmost care, according to the rules of craftsmanship. Nothing is hollow stamped. Every detail is forged from solid silver. A glance into the Flensburg workshops reveals how much attention to detail and perfect craftsmanship are required to manufacture them.
The silver-plated versions of tableware are also in a class of their own. The base material is impact-resistant nickel silver, which is similar to silver. A silver coating, of the sort generally only found on the more heavily used flatware, provides Robbe Berking tableware with a virtually unlimited lifetime.
Instead of plastic or paper, every piece of silver cutlery and tableware is wrapped in a velvet-soft slipcase. These slipcases provide additional protection against tarnishing. A most exclusive presentation method, a first in such quality in the industry.
From Flensburg, Robbe Berking silverware is exported to numerous countries in Europe, to Asia and the Americas. Products are supplied exclusively to selected retailers, many of whom have been partners for generations, joined by a common bond, their appreciation of silver.
Branches in Amsterdam, Vienna, Zurich, London, and Montreal testify to the company's success.
Around the world, silver tableware bearing the hallmark of Robbe Berking rightfully has its place on a tastefully decorated table. The former silversmithy of only regional importance has developed into Europe's leading manufacturer of silver cutlery.
The Flensburg silversmiths owe their success to the integrity of the company founders. Skilled craftsmanship and a love of silver have been handed down from one generation to the next.
From the founders, Nikolaus Kristof Robbe and Robbe Berking, through 5 generations,
to the present owners Robbe Berking and Oliver Berking.
Following a continuous 125-year-old tradition, the present proprietors are also wholeheartedly committed to the collection, the designs, and to quality.
The reason for Robbe and Berking's success lies in their straightforward motto: we take a little extra care with everything. A policy they've consistently pursued for more than 125 years.